Happy Homebrew Wednesday, folks. It's Wednesday again. I can't believe how fast the time's going nowadays. Before we do any more, cheers. Homebrew. This one's second attempt, or the second variation I did of my Chinatu. It isn't quite clear yet. It's still quite young, but it's already very nice. Definitely getting some more nose from the Kahatu, because this one was dry hopped. So there's plenty of aroma there. It still hasn't got the hit in the flavour department I was hoping for. That may change after it's had a chance to condition a bit more. But yeah, it's all round it's nicer than the first attempt. And that first attempt itself was very nice, so that's saying something. This is going down rather well. What's been happening? Homebrew Wednesday. Let's talk homebrew. Had some stuff turn up, ordered some beer stuff for the next month and a bit of brews. So it's only after filming this bit that I realised they'd managed to leave out the Protoflock tablets that were supposed to be in this delivery, so they've just sent those as well. This is all the stuff for the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale clone. There's some Pale Crystal, California liquid ale yeast, some Lager malt, Northern Brewer and Cascade hops. Big bag of pale ale malt. I did have Marisotta last time, so I thought I'd try the pale ale malt this time and see what the difference is. Some yeast. There's two SO5s, USO5s. There's a Belgian Saison yeast and a West Coast style yeast as well, and some Munich malt there. We're gonna see what we can do with that. Hop bag, new spoon and paddle because the other ones are getting a bit past it now. Some Camden tablets, stoppers, and some yeast nutrient, and a new fermenter. We've got some not so nice beer. Two of the batches I've done, whether they're just not ready yet, I don't know. I did a Ringwood 49er clone, was my first all grain batch back at the start of the year. That came out lovely. I brewed it again in the same way, and this time it just isn't clearing down. There's no whiff of infection or anything like that. It just will not clear. And the taste isn't right. So at the moment that's just sat in a keg aging, hoping that will somehow turn around and end up a bit more like the first one did, which was gorgeous. And the Orpheus Hobgoblin clone that I did, it's come out not very much like Hobgoblin at all, which is a pity. I do like Hobgoblin, and whilst I do some clone recipes, it's not because I expect them to come out exactly the same. It's because I see it as a good place to start on my own recipes. I know a beer I like, I brew something that's similar to that, and then I've got a good place to start amending recipes, to try different things, and know that I'm going to like the outcome. So I know Darren Hamworth Homebrew mentioned the other day that he's been inspired to stop doing clone brews. I think part of it comes down to the reason you're doing them. If you're doing a clone brew hoping to get exactly the same beer that you buy in the shop for a lot more, then you're probably going to be disappointed. Like Darren said when he mentioned it, these breweries have got thousands upon thousands upon thousands of pounds of equipment, different access to different strains of yeast, hops, and everything, processes that us homebrewers just can't use normally, or at least not without a massive investment. So it's not going to come out exactly the same. So if that's your reason for doing them, you'll probably always be a bit disappointed, and you're probably better off just buying that brand of beer. If, however, you're doing it as a starting point to find a recipe or a beer style that you know you like, so you can then go on and improve or change or mix it up a bit. I see it as a good place to start. Tools like Beersmith make it quite easy to pick a style and then add ingredients to try and match that style, but they don't actually give you too much idea what it's going to come out like. So I mean, I can turn around and put a load of Cascade in a British ale, and it will meet the bitterness requirements, but it won't actually come out tasting like an ESB, because it'll be too citrusy. It'll be much more like an American ale. So I mean, it's good to have, especially if you've not got hundreds or loads of batches under your belt. It's a good place to get going from. Find a beer you like, find a recipe that's close to it, and you know you're going to get beer you like out of it at the end of the day. So I mean, yeah, that's why I brewed that Hobgoblin clone. It's come out, I can't explain it. It's nothing like Hobgoblin. It's kind of much, it's almost got the body of a stout, and the taste profile's wrong. So it's actually come out at the moment. It could be that it just needs more aging. It is a slightly darker beer, but I would have expected it to have been a lot closer than that by now. So it may be that I end up pouring a keg away, because at the moment it's just not pleasantly drinkable. This one, on the other hand, cheers, is what's been going on? Got the bits for poor man's beer gun. Finding the drilled stopper, I ended up going to Hop and Grape for that, because no one else had them. You've all seen videos of how they're made. It's dead easy. Racking cane, stopper, mix that. Bit of pipe, and then John Guest fitting to attach to the disconnect on the corning. So it means that I can fill bottles now from the keg. Here's one I did earlier. We'll give it a go in a minute if I get through this. And that's good, because I had to sort that out ready for the entering the UK National Homebrew competition, because I didn't really want to bottle condition beer for that, simply because I don't bottle that much, and one of the batches I have bottled, we had a couple of gushers in. Even though I batch primed it, it just, for some reason, a few of the bottles just really took off and overcurbed. So yeah, it's just nice to be able to know what you're putting in is good. There won't be sediment, so I'm going to be bottling from the keg before sending off for that. What else have we got? Yeah, something I wanted to do, because there's an awful lot of us brewers out there. There's an awful lot of brewing books. So on the next couple of Homebrew Wednesdays, I'm just going to be showing you one of the books I've got on my bookshelf. This week we'll talk about the Hop Variety Handbook by, now I'm probably going to say this wrong, Dan Woodske. I was given this one as a present, and it's very good at taking you through nearly all the major hop varieties that are available. Plenty of information on each hop. For instance, let's just show you Cascade. Practically everyone knows Cascade. So that's all the information they've got on Cascade there. So it starts off with a bit of history, the origin, typical usage for it, the common styles it's in, the aromas you get from it, the flavour profile, alpha, beta and cohomulone acids, what Dan calls a storage rating, how long it's going to how long it's viably kept for in a sane usable condition, or if you've got to throw it out a week in very short time or whatever. And then it tells you about some of the oil contents, and myrcene, humulene, carotene, and there's descriptions at the start of the book about how these are going to affect your beer. An idea on substitutes, price and availability, and a note from pro brewers about it. So, I mean, it's quite good information on nearly all the hop types. I mean, we've got hundreds. Well, hundreds is probably an exaggeration. It's probably about 90 odd hop types in here. There are a couple of holes, but practically everything that you can routinely find is in here. So if you want a reference book for all the different hop types and what they're good for, etc., this is a good one to go for. The thing it's not so good for is general information on hops. There you go, there's basically 10 pages of general information before you get into each of the pages for each of the hops. It'll take you about 10 minutes to read that. So I mean, if you wanted more generalized information about hops, then this isn't the book to go for. If you want specific information about particular varieties of hops, then this is a good one for you. So there you go, that's the Hop Variety Handbook. It's a good one if you like your hops. So yeah, the brews I've got coming up and what we've done. This one went into the keg last week. There's my Galaxy Smash, Marisota Galaxy hops. That's going into a keg Friday. That will mean then that all I've got on at the moment is a kit brew. There's a Cooper's Real Ale which has been tweaked with some steeped grain and some hop. That's in primary at the moment. And this Friday will be brew day. And Tracy, my other half, has asked me to do a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale clone. Again, it will be a great place to start adjusting the recipe. So we've got an all-grain Sierra Pale Ale clone, Mysterio's Sierra Nevada Pale Ale clone recipe. So we'll be brewing that one up. And then a sack of grain there as well, as you saw. So that will cover me for my next 5-6 brews, depending what sort of gravity we do on them. So that's about what's going on here. I've been watching some of the Homebrew Wednesday videos that were already up. Trying to get a head start on them this week, because last week I think it was Saturday before I finished watching them all. There's a lot of brewers doing them now, and some of them do seem to go on quite a while. Talking of which, we're now up to sort of nearly a quarter of an hour. So I'm going to stop rambling now and let you all get on with it. Say cheers, happy Homebrew Wednesday, and catch you next week.